It's safe to say that social media has transformed society in ways we never thought possible. But nowhere have these changes been more significant than in the world of relationships and dating. In this video, I'm gonna make the case that social media has ruined modern dating. This may seem like an extreme view. I know I probably sound like someone in the 1960s saying that television is ruining society, but give me a chance to explain here. The truth is that the internet and social media have had a major impact on our world, and we need to be honest about the good and the bad that comes with that. At the end of this video, I'll talk about how to minimize the damage that social media does to our dating lives and take back control. But first, let's look at the evidence. Number 1, social media invites comparison. Social media has allowed us to see more of the world than ever before, and that's a problem. Seeing the perfect lives of strangers on apps like Instagram will naturally lead to comparisons. But because people are able to put forward an extremely unrealistic and amazing image of their lives, we're not going to be happy with what we find. This reflects on our vacations, our social lives, our jobs, and especially our relationships. A huge portion of social media is dedicated to people posting photos of their healthy, exciting, fairy tale relationships for us to all pine over. Obviously, it's going to be impossible for our relationships to live up to these standards, because the image they create is not real. Remember that for many people, presenting an exciting and happy relationship is their entire livelihood. If they don't get enough engagement, then they don't get sponsorships, and they don't get paid. There are many accounts that fail to live up to this impossible standard, or choose to show the negative along with the positive, and you'll simply never see them. The few that you end up seeing are those that manage to craft this image successfully. And a few pictures of a smiling couple do not make a healthy relationship. So even if you see your friends and acquaintances on social media showing off their hot and supportive partners, know that this is only a small sliver of what's really going on in their lives. Even if they wanted to, there's really no way to show a real relationship on social media. The only way to really understand a relationship is to be in it. I'm sure to most of you this is all obvious, but this comparison is happening on a subconscious level, and since it's right there on our phones, it's happening more and more. Number 2, social media has made cheating easier. Back in the day, it was difficult for people in serious relationships to cheat. They'd have to make up elaborate lies and explain away long absences. They'd need to cover their tracks perfectly, and most of all, they'd need to find a way to communicate with the other person without raising suspicion. The existence of cell phones eliminates these hurdles to cheating. They can text endlessly while their partner has no idea. And social media has kicked this problem into overdrive by providing potential cheaters with a buffet of people to choose from. They can scroll endlessly, looking for people who they can cheat on you with. They can message them, flirt with them, and set up a meeting without ever having to risk getting caught. And again, they can do this all from the comfort of the bed that you two share. This is scary stuff, but it does happen. In fact, a recent study out of the UK found that 1/3 of divorce proceedings mentioned Facebook by name, suggesting that people have used the platform to cheat on their spouses. Number 3, social media gives us too many options. One of the biggest problems in the modern world is the idea that the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. Never in human history have people had more options in what they do, who they spend their time with, and how they live their lives. While this is great and that it allows people to live whatever kind of life they want, it also makes us feel unsatisfied and unfulfilled no matter what choice we've made. Social media just compounds this problem by showing us all what we're missing out on. We've already talked about relationship envy, but this is even more problematic. It shows us lifestyles that would be incompatible with any relationship. What if your partner came home one day and told you they've decided to give up their home to live in a van? That's going to present a serious challenge for you going forward. What if they decide to be a digital nomad, traveling around the world and working online? These can be hugely rewarding for those interested in living a less traditional lifestyle, but it's hard to make the case that these are going to make dating and relationships easier. And even more directly, social media can show you the exciting side of being single. Having a constant flow of images of your single friends partying at music festivals is enough to give you serious doubts if your relationship is really all it's cracked up to be. In the past, these options would present themselves occasionally in social settings, But thanks to social media, it's easy to find yourself bombarded with these options 24/7. And that could take a serious toll on your mental health and the health of your relationships. Number 4, social media creates another potential conflict zone. While social media allows us opportunities to connect with a potential partner, it also creates opportunities for conflict. For example, say your partner is perfectly attentive, loving, and caring for you in real life, but they never like your posts on social media. Is this going to be a problem for you? Do you consider this a red flag or even a deal breaker? Yet another issue that didn't exist before social media. And there are so many other versions of this. Maybe a guy you like follows a lot of models on Instagram and likes their photos. Maybe he comments on his ex's posts. Maybe he doesn't post photos of you on his page. You may see these as red flags of other potential issues in the relationship, but there's no denying that without social media, these particular issues that now consume your thoughts wouldn't exist at all, at least not in this form. A 2013 study on couples found that spending more time on Facebook was linked with more Facebook-related conflict and more negative relationship outcomes, which brings us to the next point. Number 5, social media eats into your one-on-one time. Social media is, if nothing else, a gigantic time suck for a lot of users. It's become so normalized that we often take out our phones without thinking. While this is mostly harmless, it can start to bleed into the time that you spend with dates or partners. I'm sure we can all remember times when we felt neglected because someone wouldn't stop looking at their phones. And for all the influencers, or wannabe influencers out there, this is even more of a problem. It's super common for people to interrupt dates and miss out on opportunities for connection because they're too busy trying to take the perfect photo for their Instagram story. These are all little moments, but the more time we spend on social media, the more these moments add up to a serious problem for us and the people around us. In this way, social media has become a barrier to real-life communication. Number 6, social media blurs lines. In some ways, it can be said that social media breaks down walls between people, allowing for more rapid communication and sharing than ever before. But for the same reason, social media blurs the lines between people, and that can create some unwelcome consequences. For example, you'd probably be uncomfortable knowing that your partner is still close friends with their ex, right? So what about following them on social media? What about those people they went on 2 dates with who still follow them and watches all their stories? Obviously, these are questions without easy answers, but they just represent another potential minefield when it comes to creating a connection with someone you care about. Number 7, it creates fake familiarity. We may feel we know people we follow on social media, and while we may know their interests, what their lives are like, and what they choose to share with the world, in reality, people are so much more than those basic details. This is a kind of fake intimacy. For example, say you match with someone on a dating app and exchange handles. Suddenly, they have access to every little detail you put online, and they start to construct a version of you in their head that may or may not match up to the real you. Now, you go on a date, and you realize that you already know so much about this person, and at the same time, you don't know them at all. And since you know all the basic details, you've lost the opportunity for connection that comes with hearing those details from them directly. As a result, this can make getting to know them even more difficult. I've only really scratched the surface here on why social media is bad for dating and relationships, so let me know in the comments if you'd like a part 2 to this video. But with all that said, what are you supposed to do about it? It would be pretty easy for me to tell you to just delete all the apps, go outside, and talk to people in real life, but this just isn't realistic. Social media is a part of our lives now, and while it has natural challenges, it also has huge benefits that aren't so easy to give up. I'd say that the takeaway from this video is to re-examine your relationship with social media. If you can see that many of the problems in your dating life are coming from social media, then maybe take a break, or put some rules in place to reduce your reliance on certain platforms. Beyond that, take social media out of the equation when it comes to early interactions with potential partners. Stop giving your Tinder matches your Instagram. Don't go over their profiles with a fine-tooth comb looking for issues, and limit the amount of time you spend online in general. Social media is very addictive, so if you can limit the power it has over your life, the problems will be limited as well. What do you think? Did I miss anything? Do you think I'm exaggerating social media's power over relationships? Please tell me in the comments below. I'd love to get a dialogue going. And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I'm Emily Baker. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.